Hey guys, it's Rudar here, and today I'm going to go over a little commentary on how to beat double melee as a Boomy. Now I get a lot of questions on how to beat things like Turbo, DHDK, a lot of different melee cleaves, and this is how I'm going to beat this one. And we're playing with a Shadow Priest this time, Shadow Priest Archon. And this isn't very good of a comp, so if you were to play with like a Frost Mage, or an Ellie, or even with a melee on your team, it would be much better. So I'm going to go to the playback speed. Let's go 0.5 on this, and I'll walk you guys through exactly what I'm doing here. So let's start this game. Talents-wise, we're playing D-Curse, and we're also playing Thorns. If you fight any melee or any Shaman, any Warlock, any Shaman or Warlock, go D-Curse, otherwise go Thorns. Here in the opener, notice how I'm not going for any Stealth Bash clones on the healer. I'm just staying back, and I'm playing as far away from the enemy healer as possible. I don't want to be running in on the healer and going for CC, because that's going to allow their healer to heal their DPS without having to move off the pillar. And my whole game plan here is to move the melee DPS off the pillar. So here we leap to our healer, we kite out. This is because if we look at cooldowns here, the Shaman has wall up, the Warrior has Avatar and Bladestorm going. There's nothing I can do here. My damage, I can't cast Raz because I'll just kick it. They can ground, they can like reset ground, they can static me further. There's nothing I can do here to do anything. So I'm just going to leap out and kite for 1 second while their cooldowns fall off. Because there's just nothing productive I can do if I stay there. And as soon as I get away, what am I going to do? Spam cast Wraths and damage. Spam cast damage here. Since the Shaman is slightly out of range, I do go for that Cyclone on the Warrior. Usually, like, when you finally get your distance, you won't go for many Cyclones. You're just going to spam Wraths and Star Surges. But since the Shaman was far away and I could get that clone, it was just like free and the Warrior had Avatar up. So I'm just going to clone cooldowns when it's free. I'm not going to like fight for them too much. So here we have Earthern, so I'm a little bit stacked on my Priest right now. Usually you won't want to be so stacked up on your DPS, but since it's Earthern, I am here. Here, I'm looking to Cyclone. It looks like I'm trying to Cyclone the Shaman or something. So he can't like ground on a go, but I couldn't get it there. Here I get a Cyclone on the Warrior. This Cyclone is just kind of to recover and sustain our HP. It's not really for anything set up, not really a huge defensive one, but it's just nice. Here I leap to my healer, and the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to pull the healer further from the pillar. See, now the healer has to like kind of get off the pillar if he wants to heal his DPS, and my Priest can look for fears, silences, stuns, all that. Now the healer finally crosses, and I'm going to be moving away from the enemy healer. And in the meantime, I'm using Moonfire, Sunfire, keep my dots up, Wraths, insert, or not really Wraths, but mostly Starfires when they're on me, my insta-procs. So they finally do connect to me. We get another grip. They go for a Hex here, but since we're running D-Curse, we just D-Curse that. We're so fine here. I press Skin, I'm kind of low HP. And the thing is, Skin actually increases the healing you receive by 20%. So usually once your healer is out of CC, sometimes holding Skin a little bit late can actually help a lot. So we recover here, and then notice positioning. We're really far from the enemy healer. And then look at this clean setup we get. We get the Shaman's Trinket, we get Sack. And as soon as I see Sack, what am I trying to do? Instantly trying to cast a Cyclone on it. Since the Warrior is just not a kill target here, I want to try to clone that Sack. So I'm going to go for it again. Trying to fake his kick. Kicks me at 90%. Couldn't quite get it. In the meantime, we're putting up Moonfires when we're interrupted. I get stunned again. Now I'm so committed. I've forced every single stop from them. I'm so committed. I'm just going to go for the Cyclone here. Once I forced everything, going to Cyclone a defensive, I might as well just go for it. So here, we're keeping damage up. We should Fury Balloon really soon and press Thorns. So yeah, we Fury Balloon off cooldown, we press Thorns. And we go for a Bash Fear to cover the Tremor Totem and the Grounding Totem. So going the Shaman is always really good because they can grounding totem to save their warrior. So having the stuns on them and killing them in the stuns is usually really, really good to do. Here, since he has wall up and they have avatar up, I'm either going to kite here or I'm going to try to cyclone the shaman. So I fake the kick, and I need to either kite quickly or cyclone the shaman. I get the clone on the shaman, so we should be okay. And I hit a bear regen here. So here's kind of the situation where if you can get a free clone, go for it, and then just bear regen if it's only 1 melee DPS. If you can't get the clone, and your healer's in CC and they have offensives up, then you probably have to Stamping Roar and leap to one of your teammates and kite it out. But here, I looked to like wild charge back and typhoon him into the eye, but I didn't quite get it. Now Incarn's up here, so we're just gonna send that right away. We don't need a land CC on the healer, like you can, but like you just send off CD. Send off CD. Yeah, we just got bubbled there for free. We didn't do anything. We're just maximizing our damage. If we look at meters, like at our details right now, we're actually doing the highest amount of damage, and we're getting trained the entire game. This is just because whenever we do get distance, we're trying to spam cast wraths and spam cast damage. So like see here, I finally get distance, I'm spamming damage. I probably could have Star Surged there instead of wrathing because I was max Astral Power. So there's a little bit of a damage mistake right there, but as soon as you get distance, it's kind of your Wrath Surge spamming. But don't overcap on Astral Power like I am. I don't really care to hit the warrior that much. I do want to keep him dotted, but I don't really... Like, I want to keep him dotted so he's a potential kill target when I cyclone the shaman, but I'm not really looking to send all my damage on him, really. So here, we Thorns right away. Thorns is actually a crazy good defensive because it's all about, like, doing more damage than they do to you. And so if they're popping cooldowns and, like, Blade Storm, if you just Thorns, it's going to make it really annoying for them. Like, they're going to take a good amount of damage from this. Doesn't seem like much, but just look at their HP. They're just starting to rot down, and that's mostly from your Thorns. Hero Healer gets CC'd. Shaman's bopped. They have all trinkets aggro, so I'm kiting right here. And I just dispel my Hex. And now, look what the healer is. I'm just running directly away from the enemy healer, instantly going away. I had to kite for a second, so I was a little bit close to him, but once we're good, we're just kiting away from him. So we're trying to keep our dots up. He reflects there, so I might... Yeah, I'm just going to keep kiting for a second here. And yeah, we're doing damage on the Sham. I don't have any bark skin right now, so that's why I'm kiting a lot. I'm kind of just like slowing down the game. If the melee get uptime on me for the entire game, especially with their cooldowns up, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So here I'm looking to cyclone the warrior, I believe. I'm looking to clone the warrior. He will just eat our mana bar so hard if I let him just sit on me like this. So we have everything out of the way. We go for the clone, and we recast the clone for a second, clone the trinket. But we cancel that because he didn't seem like he was going to trinket and clone the Sham. And see, we have Earthen Wall Totem down. It's like, Earthen Wall Totem's nice, but it's just better to take 0 damage than take a bunch of damage in Earthen Wall. Earthen Wall won't stop that much damage from a warrior. They'll just hit right through it, or for the most part. So don't always kite out of Earthen Wall, but if you can kite out and not be reconnected to for a while, then it's worth it. So their healer goes for a drink here. Probably want to stop that, but I can't really at the moment. We get a root on it. But now look at positioning. We're playing away from the enemy healer. He has wall up, so I'm going to want to try to cycle on that wall. I might go for like a precog here because they have so many interrupts available. So let's see what I do here. Because right now the main kill target is basically unkillable with this wall up. So I go for a precog. I look for the clone. There's a grounding. Couldn't quite get it. Maybe I go for it again. Yeah, we get the cyclone. Star Surge into it. Don't do that. Okay. So at this point, it's kind of awkward. We do want to go the Shaman, but we don't really have that much damage rolling. The Shaman is next to our healer, so our healer's always going to utilize Lasso if they're ever next to him to punish their positioning. So, yeah, we get a little setup there. And now, cycloning half on the shaman wouldn't be terrible, but I might just pull the war back and look for a bash on him. I'm gonna send Incarn, I send bash. I'm just keeping the pressure rolling. I keep my dots up. I'm keeping dots up, staying in Eclipse, spamming, casting damage. So first priority, putting up those dots again. And now we're going to corner them, but I'm not going to run in melee range. If I can't hit them, that's okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of damage. If I run into melee range, I could get hodged behind pillar, I could get knocked back, I could get staticked in, and just killed. I have no Barkshin right now, so I want to be a little bit cautious. We did triple fear there, which kind of sucks. Usually you don't want to put everything on DR like that, but since I can't get a lot of clones anyways into this, and the map's not really that big, it's like a medium-sized map, it's okay. So notice how I'm kind of waiting for them to come out. It's not worth it for me to sacrifice my position to run in there, because all that's gonna happen is I get stunned and I go to like 30% HP and I frantically kite out. So instead I'm just keeping my distance, and I'm kind of like being ready for them to reconnect. So they reconnect. They use mobility to reconnect as well, so now they don't have mobility to chase me as much. Kill the static with Star Surges. I should be Typhooning soon here to like kite. Maybe. Or I look for a precog clone. We have no damage rolling. We have no pressure right now, so looking for a clone to like start ramping up our dots again might be a good idea. They don't have any stops here, so I should go for it. I think I might have been casting down the warrior and I used blade storming. Okay, yeah. So we're just gonna regain pressure by just doing a setup here, and then we're gonna clone the cooldown. So we're gonna clone the shaman here. See here. Try to fake his kick. Oh, he got kicked. That's bad. That's fine though. We're almost killing him. I should still look for the clone, but I might not. I go for the bash, and we go for the clone. Yes. Okay. So like, he doesn't have a cooldown up, but we've gotten every interrupt out of the way. So now at this stage of the game, we can start rotting the warrior, and we can like start setting up for like a swap clone on something else, and then continue the pressure back onto the shaman. But I get stunned on the clone swap. So yeah, we're in Earther now. Right now kind of sucks. Like they're in the driver's seat. So I need to like stop this from happening. So I'm just gonna kite. I'm just gonna leap to the healer, get around the pillar. Because if I go to the pillar, the warrior can't charge me if I line aside the warrior. And we grip him back, we root him. So here we're just trying to like regain momentum. If we were to stay there for too much longer, they're just gonna eat whatever we have left on mana, and it would be all down to me getting a precog clone, and it's just too risky to do that. It's just too risky to lose the game like that. You might as well just kite out for a couple seconds and try to regain some pressure. So here, Typhooning, I should like wild charge or something if I can't get it. Okay, we go to Shaman here. They bubble sack, so their team's immortal right now. This is where they have all the pressure. Now the enemy team's in the driver's seat, I'm looking to cyclone something. The guy's not gonna die. So they have no kicks right now. I might not recognize this at this point. Maybe I do. Okay, nice. So we clone the warrior there, and we clone him again. I could have cloned the shaman, but actually cloning the warrior there was a little bit better, because now he doesn't have a trinket. So if I like bash him or do anything, yeah, now he parries. Now the warrior just has no cooldowns on their team, so the warrior can't play as aggressive as he was earlier in the game. This is like the last bit of aggression he can really do. So here we're gonna send we're just gonna send damage here. We should send an Incarn, like line him up in the bowling alley and just rip that as soon as possible. Maybe just on the deeps. Because if we don't right now, we're gonna fall behind. He has Avatar up. I need to also press some offensives, or else we fall behind. And boom, we take him out. Notice I beamed there at the end. So like, let me just show you that again. So I beam at the end because if he were to come out of that stun, like, let's see here. Say we didn't have that much burst from the Shadow Priest. If he were to come out of that stun, like, I don't know. Yeah, if he were to come out of that stun and press his grounding totem, which he still has, then he could probably not die. Like, the healer could probably, maybe he had lay in hands or something. Maybe he had, like, a holy shock that would be just enough with tears up. He also has main stat thing up, so beaming the shaman there is actually, when you think you're gonna kill, when you think you absolutely have the kill, look to shadow meld so you can't get CC'd, and look to beam a target to stop whatever last resort ability they can use. So that's what we try to do right there. I could have also beamed the healer, but beaming the shaman is more consistent because the ground is just going to stop everything. I'd rather the healer get off like a holy shock than the shaman grounding like a last star surge and like shadow word death or something like that. But let's see here. Is there... Oh, I guess this is just the rest. Okay, let's go over this next game too. This is Outlaw Destro, so let's go over this. It's a really short game, so we'll go over this one too. While we're at it. So into this matchup, you can see that we're playing Decurs and we're playing Thorns because we're fighting Shaman or Warlocks or Decurs, and we're playing Thorns because we're fighting any melee DPS. What Thorns is gonna do is it primes somebody up and it allows you to regain momentum. If you don't have Thorns into like even one melee DPS, some of these matchups can actually feel impossible. It's going to feel like you have to clone the melee DPS to live, but if you just have Thorns up, you're chilling. You're chilling. So in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out, see if I can get a combat. If not, if this team, like, if I knew their names, I'd probably walk out, try to get combat, and then if I couldn't, I would hop back and prowl. But here I'm just like W keying in because I don't know any of these players and I don't think they're actually like that insane. Maybe they're really good, I don't know. So I'm just running in, getting combat, kind of disrespecting the rogue sap here. And yeah, I'm kind of line of sighting their healer. I don't want to get lassoed, I don't want to get like sheared or anything, so I'm kind of playing this pillar a little bit. They have Observer up, they stun me, and they pop Adrenaline Rush. I'm looking to kill Observer when I get out. They get the coils. They're fearing. Is this in 0.25 speed? Alright, let's speed that up a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, bash the rogue. Just bashing the rogue off CD. We don't need to use it for a bash clone because they have too many stops. I'm just going to send it on the melee DPS off CD. I do that into like every single melee caster. I just send bash on the melee DPS off CD to like either get a bash clone or to like kill them in it. And usually like bashing the melee DPS is it's just really free. If you try to bash the healer into a clone, like all the DPS are going to be on high alert to stop that cyclone. So it's usually just not, it's too risky to go for the healer in a bash clone unless you have some other cross. So here we notice our positioning too. We're always playing the rogue back away from this healer, and then we're playing around our shaman's lasso. So the rogue shouldn't get that bash, and then we're just like, let's just set up on the rogue after. So we're casting wraths, we're spamming star surges, and we just kill the rogue. Because we're bashing rogue off CD, cloning him, he's going to trinket aggro, and we just punish him with our healer's stun. You can do this actually really frequently when you're playing with a H-Pal as well. You can like Hajj. So that's that game. Couple games here. Short one at the end. I hope this was helpful. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.